Are you going to Oman, or are you a migrant worker living in Oman, or just an Omani resident and you're looking for a new SIM card or for the best SIM card out there? Or you're lucky because I'll be covering everything you need to know about SIM cards in Oman, and at the end I will tell you which one or which ones are the best. So let's just get started, shall we? Hi, it's Ooredoo from Phone Travels here, and today we'll be talking about SIM cards in Oman. There are so many options in Oman that it's almost difficult to find the best option, because each operator, they have so many combo plans or data plans. I think there are a total of 100 plans, so depending on how much data you need, there's so much choice. But worry not, this video will go through each of them in a nice overview, and based on that it will be easier for you to decide which SIM card will be the best, and at the end I will tell you which one is the best overall in terms of prices, coverage, speeds, and yeah, stuff that you need to know. So let's just get started, shall we? But before we can even consider which data plans are available, we need to know more about the telecom situation in Oman. We actually have two main operators in Oman. We have Omantel and Ooredoo Oman. Those are the main operators. You also have mobile virtual network operators. So those are companies that use the networks of the main operators, which in this case are Omantel and Ooredoo. And the three mobile virtual network operators are Renna Mobile, Friendi Mobile, and RedBull Mobile Oman. So there are 5 different options, and there used to be actually 6. There was also a youth brand called Shababia, which was owned by Ooredoo Oman, but as of 2020 they integrated Shababia with Oman itself, and it has actually become their main prepaid offering compared to the old one, which was Musbarak, if pronounced correctly. So yeah, Shababia is no more. Well, it's there, but it's not a separate brand that was focused on the Omani youth. Right now it's just a prepaid brand of Oman Ooredoo, or Ooredoo Oman, yes. So right now we'll go to each operator individually, tell you more about what you need to know about them, all the data packages they offer, and at the end I will tell you which one is the best. But if you sign up for my newsletter at phonetravels.com/newsletter, you can get an Excel sheet with the best SIM cards in over 230 destinations all over the world, and per destination or per country I will tell you which operator or operators are the best, why they are the best, how much a SIM card costs, and how much it costs to get a data plan that comes with at least 1 GB of data that will last you for 7 days, all for free. So sign up for the newsletter, and once you fill in your email and confirm the subscription, you will get the Excel sheet, and it gets updated every month, so it stays as up to date as possible. So now let's go back to Oman. Let's start with Omantel, which is also known as Oman Mobile, and they are the market leader here in Oman. They have a market share of more than 50%, I think it's about 55%, and they're just the largest operator here in Oman. You can get an Omantel SIM card which is called Hayak for 2 OMR, which is about $5.25 if I'm correct. And when you buy the SIM card you will get 1.5 GB for free, which has to be used within 7 days. So that's a nice bonus, and if you're staying in Oman for less than a week and you don't really need that much data, then just buying the SIM card will be more than enough. But of course there are data packs available, which I will go through right now. With the Hayak SIM card there are several combo plans, and one of the combo plans is called Hayak Your Way, and these combo plans they come with data, minutes and SMS. So you have these 5 options: 3 OMR, 500 megabytes, 50 minutes and 50 SMS. Oh, by the way, all of these plans are valid for a month, so yeah, all of them are for 30 days. 5 OMR, 1 GB of data, 100 minutes and 100 SMS. 7 OMR, 1 GB of data and 1 social media gigabyte. 10 OMR, 4 GB and 2 GB for social media, and 15 OMR, 8 GB of data and 4 GB for social media. And social media apps are WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And with these plans you can also add 5 favorite numbers. And if you add a favorite number, that means that you can make unlimited calls to these numbers. So that's quite a cool deal, and you can have 5 of them. And you also have the new Hayak plans, which are literally called New Hayak, not because they, well, mainly because they're new, but that's just the name. And they come in 6 different variants: 3 OMR, 2 GB of data and 50 minutes for 7 days, 3 OMR, 1.5 GB of data and 50 minutes for 30 days, 4 OMR, 2 GB and 50 minutes for 30 days, 6 OMR, 4 GB and 150 minutes for 30 days, 10 OMR, 10 GB of data and 250 minutes for 30 days, and 15 OMR, 80 GB of data and 500 minutes for 30 days. And if you only need data, then you have these options: 0.2 OMR 50 MB for 1 day, 0.5 OMR 250 megabytes for 1 day, 0.5 OMR 50 megabytes for 30 days, 1 Oman 1 gigabyte for 1 day, 2 Oman 3 gigabytes for 1 day, 2 Oman 2 gigabytes of data for 2 days, 2 Oman 300 megabytes for 30 days, 3 Oman 2 gigabytes for 7 days, 3 Oman again 1 gigabyte of data for 30 days, 5 Oman 2 gigabytes for 30 days, 7 Oman 3 gigabytes for 30 days, 10 Oman 5 gigabytes for 30 days, 15 Oman 10 gigabytes for 30 days, and 25 OMR 30 gigabytes for 30 days. Those are a lot of packages that you can choose from. So as I said, it will be even more with the auto operator, so but at least you get a lot of options and you can at least choose the one that you like instead of having a restrictive selection. So it's a pro, it's a con, depending on how you see it. You can also get an Omantel tourist pack if you're a tourist, so if you're not living in Oman as a resident or a national, and it also applies to those from the GCI countries. For 5 Oman you get 2 gigabytes of data, 2 gigabytes for WhatsApp and a few minutes, and this plan itself is active or valid for 10 days, but the SIM card itself can be used for 30 days, so that's a nice thing to know. And if the plan expires, then you can add one of the regular data plans that I mentioned earlier to your plan. Now it's time for Ooredoo Oman, and they are, well, together with Omantel, the main operators here, and Ooredoo Oman is also a good option, but do know that the coverage is slightly worse than the one of Omantel. But unless you go there with two of the same phones and to the outskirts of Oman, you might not really notice the difference in coverage, but it's something to be aware of. And remember, the Shababia brand that was the previous youth brand, that's the main prepaid offering for Ooredoo. And you also have the old ones, which are called Musbarak, and well, I will say it properly later, but yeah, they are also still available, but the perks are not as good as the Shababia one. So let's start with new Shababia first. You can get a Shababia Smart SIM card for 2 OMR, and you can decide that you want to get 1 gigabyte of data for 10 days or 2 OMR in credit for 30 days. So you get the option to choose which one you want. If you like data, then of course you will go for data. With Ooredoo you can choose to get a plan or just get data. And let's first start with the Shababia plans. They come in 5 variants, and some of them come with unlimited social media apps. But the social media apps, they are throttled to 512 kilobytes per second, which is not super fast, but it's doable. You will notice that it's slow when you use these apps. Maybe not when you use WhatsApp if you're just texting, but if you're sending a lot of photos, then you may notice that the download and upload speed are quite slow. And all of these 5 Shababia plans are valid for 30 days. 3 OMA 1.5 gigabytes of data in 15 minutes. 5 OMA 3 gigabytes and 50 minutes, 7 OMA 5 gigabytes and 150 minutes, 10 OMA 10 gigabyte unlimited social media and 200 minutes, and 12 OMA 14 gigabytes unlimited social media and 300 minutes. And do know that all of these plans, they auto renew, and you can probably turn it off when you go when you use the Ooredoo Oman app. And I say probably because these are new apps, whereas the previous ones you could deactivate it with just a USSD code. So yeah, let me know or let us know how you can deactivate these auto renewals. You also have Shababia Mix, which is quite a cool concept because you can basically make your own plan with the amount of minutes you want or need and the amount of data you want to need. And on the screen you have the selection of data and minutes, and yeah, you can just mix it how you want. And these plans are valid for a full month, so yeah, quite cool. You also have the new Shababia data add-ons, which can be used as a standalone data package, or you can add it when you are almost out of data with any of the auto plans. And you have these 4 options: 1 OMA 1 gigabyte for 1 day, 3 OMA 1 gigabyte for 30 days, 5 OMA 2 gigabytes for 30 days, and 10 OMA 6 gigabytes for 30 days. You also have the digital add-ons, and those are just social media packs. And you have these options: 0.2 OMA unlimited Apple Music, Ghana and Sound streaming for 1 day, 0.5 OMA unlimited YouTube and full clip streaming on SD quality, which is 480p for 1 day, and 3 OMA 3 gigabytes for WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram for 30 days. So now let's go to the old Ooredoo plans, which are called Musbak. 1 OMA 25 minutes /SMS, so no data. 2 OMA 15 megabytes and 75 minutes or SMS, and 3 OMA 100 megabytes and 125 minutes or SMS for 7 days. You can also get one of these data bundles, 1 Omar 1 gigabyte for 1 day, 2 Omar 2 gigabytes for 2 days, 3 Omar 1 gigabyte for 30 days, 5 Omar 5 gigabytes for 7 days, 5 Omar 2 gigabytes for 30 days, 10 Omar 6 gigabytes for 30 days, 24 Omar 10 gigabytes for 30 days, and 49 or basically 50 Omar 30 gigabytes for 30 days. You can also consider getting an Ooredoo visitor pack, which is the 2 SIM cards, which comes in these two variants. 5 Omar 4 gigabytes of data, 50 minutes for local and international use, and 50 SMS for 10 days, and 10 Omar 10 gigabytes of data, 50 minutes for local and international use, and 50 SMS for 15 days. So those 2S packs are not too bad. I've seen much worse. These are quite decent or reasonable, I would say. So now it's time to talk about the MVNOs. The first one is Friendi, and they are Ooredoo MVNOs, so they use the Ooredoo network. You can actually get the SIM card for free at the airport, Muscat Airport, and some of the vendors, and I think they also have Friendi stores. I'm not 100% sure about that. And you have these options for data. And Renna Mobile, they have freedom plans and data saver plans. And freedom plans, they don't expire at all. So let's say if you get 1 gigabyte of data, you can use it within 1 day or 100 days, whatever you want, as long as your SIM card is active. And the data saver plans, they do have a validity. So let's start with the freedom plans first. You have 4 freedom mix plans, which are plans that are divided in anytime data and nighttime data. And nighttime data can be used from 11 a.m. until 6 a.m. No, 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. if I'm correct. And there are 4 mixed plans. 2 Omar 500 megabytes and 500 megabytes at night. 3 Omar 750 megabytes and 1000 megabytes at night. 3.5 Omar 1 gigabyte at night. And 500 Omar 1500 megabytes and 2000 megabytes at night. And if you do not want this distinction, you can get one of these data bundles. 0.5 Omar 100 megabytes, 1 Omar 250 megabytes, 2 Omar 1 gigabyte, 2 Omar 1.750 gigabyte, 4 Omar 2.25 gigabyte, 5 Omar 3.5 gigabytes, 8 Omar 5 gigabytes, 10 Omar 8 gigabytes. And then you have the saver plans, which also come with minutes, and they also have a validity. Most of them, they are valid for 30 days except for one, which is the first one. Let's get started. 1 Omar 1 gigabyte for 24 hours, 5 Omar 2 gigabytes and 3 gigabytes at night, 5 Omar 3 gigabytes and 50 minutes, 7 Omar 5 gigabytes and 150 minutes, 10 Omar 10 gigabytes and 200 minutes, and 12 Omar 14 gigabytes and 300 minutes. Then you have Renna Mobile. Renna is a supermarket chain throughout Oman, so they just offer prepaid services. They use the Omantel network, so the coverage would be a little bit better than compared to Ooredoo. And the SIM card is sold for 2 Omar, and you get 2 Omar in credit and 1 gigabyte to be used within 30 days. They have many data packs to be choose from, so let's just get through them. 0.3 Omar 100 megabytes for 3 days, 0.5 Omar 200 megabytes for 3 days, 1 Omar 1 gigabyte for 1 day, 1 Omar 250 megabytes for 7 days, 2 Omar 750 megabytes for 14 days, 3 Omar 1.5 gigabytes for 30 days, 3.5 Omar 2.5 gigabytes for 30 days, 4 Omar 3.25 gigabytes for 30 days, 5 Omar 4 gigabytes for 30 days, 8 Omar 5 gigabytes for 30 days, 10 Omar 9 gigabytes for 30 days, 15 Omar 15 gigabytes for 30 days, and 20 Omar 21 gigabytes for 30 days. Then you have RedBull Mobile, which is mainly focused on the Omani youth, but basically everybody can get their SIM card. You can get the SIM card for free if you order it online in some of the RedBull Mobile stores. They do not have that many. You have 5 RedBull Mobile plans, and all of them come with unlimited WhatsApp texting and unlimited on-net calls and SMS. So let's just go through them. 2 Omar 1 gigabyte of data for 7 days, 4 Omar 2 gigabytes of data for 30 days, 6 Omar 4 gigabytes of data and 150 of that minutes for 30 days, 10 Omar 40 gigabytes for 30 days, and 15 Omar 24 gigabytes for 30 days. So those are all your options here in Oman. So which SIM card is the best? Well, before I tell you, make sure to subscribe to this channel, where I do this type of guides all the time, and make sure to like the video as well if you are enjoying it so far. If not, dislike and comment down below why you don't like the video. But which SIM card is the best in Oman? I would actually recommend Ooredoo, mainly because they are a bit cheaper than Omantel. But remember, the coverage with Ooredoo is slightly worse than Omantel, but the coverage is like, it's probably you won't even notice if you're staying in if you're mainly staying in populated areas, and maybe if you're driving between cities, then the coverage with one you will notice the coverage issues, but yeah, that's quite normal as well. What about the MVNOs? They offer some good rates, but I like to prefer, or I most often prefer to go with the main operators. And with these MVNOs, I don't really have one strong connection with any of them. Although I do like the Renna Mobile Freedom plans, but those are very useful if you're staying in Oman for a very long time. But if you're short term, then it doesn't really matter if you have a validity of 7 days, 30 days, or for a full year, because you won't be in Oman for that long anyway. If you found this video educational, make sure to click the like button and comment down below which operator you will go with when you go to Oman. And if you're already living in Oman, just let us know which SIM card you use and let us know why you use it. Do you think that my findings are correct or incorrect? Let us know. Let's help educate each other. And make sure to subscribe to the channel where I do this type of videos all the time. But I also do SIM card reviews. I talk about international SIM cards, mobile hotspots. I do the same on my blog, phonetoalways.com, where it's mainly in written form. And I just talk about everything related to traveling with your phone. That's it for today, and so see you in the next one. Bye bye.